Thank you, Hila, for that introduction. I feel completely privileged to be surrounded by so many human rights heroes, to be here. For Venezuelans, it is very important to have a space to speak up because in our country we feel completely silenced, completely isolated. And for us to know that the world can listen to us is very, very important. My name is Antonietta Ledezma. I am the daughter of a courageous man who 2 years ago gave up his freedom defending his democratic beliefs. The past 19th of February of 2015, my father, Antonio Ledezma, was abruptly taken from his office in an arbitrary way. 120 police armed came up, showed up, destroyed, smashed his office, and took him without a warrant for his arrest, without letting his family know the reasons, without letting his lawyers know why were they taking him, where were they taking him. And after 2 years of his arbitrary arrest, I would like to say that my father is a victim of judicial terrorism. Judicial terrorism because in these 2 years, he's only had one preliminary hearing. In this preliminary hearing, he's been accused with two charges, conspiracy and criminal association. Both charges completely created by the government. Both charges are completely political. And, his only crime has been exposing the truth about Maduro, the truth about what is happening today in Venezuela. Because today in Venezuela we're suffering the cruelest dictatorship we've ever suffered in my country's history. It's been 2 years since I've been carrying this picture that you see here. This is my father. And, I've been asking and fighting for his freedom because he is the only mayor of the world who is arbitrarily arrested. And we're talking about a mayor of a capital. But I don't only want to talk about him. I want to talk also about more than 100 women and men who are innocent and today are being held behind bars just for speaking up to this regime. Maduro is, and this, what I'm saying, is the real face of my country. Maduro is a man that has violated all democratic and human rights principles to maintain himself in power. He has made my people, Venezuelans, to die of hunger, to die of diseases due to the lack of medicines, the lack of food, and the lack of security. This is the crisis. We're being victims of the worst humanitarian crisis we've ever experienced. And I'm here and I feel the great responsibility when I'm here at the United Nations to speak about this because this is a fight and this is what my father has told me about freedom, about democracy, and about human dignity, something that as Venezuelans we haven't been able to see for over 20 years. As you all can imagine, being the daughter of a political prisoner is a very hard experience. It was my fear since I can remember. I'm 25 years old, and all I can remember is living with fear and living with the oppression of not knowing what day the government was going to take my father away for speaking up. Well, it happened. It became my reality. And today what I ask all of you is that when you think about Venezuela, think about Antonio Ledezma, think about our political prisoners, and think that today we are having a dictatorship in Venezuela. I would like to know and I would like to understand how come a country like Venezuela, whose president is a great violator of human rights, is still part of the United Nations Human Rights Council. So what my father asked me to say is not to ever ask for pity, because us Venezuelans will fight until the end, we'll fight with our life. I will fight with my life, and I will even sacrifice my own freedom to be able to say that I live in a free country. So what I want you all to know is that in Venezuela, we might be having a hard time, but I know it's gonna pass, and I know Maduro will leave very soon. Thank you very much, and I'll talk about it more tomorrow.